Hey guys, DJ Space Dude here, back in it with another video. This time we're here at Northlandz, the world's largest miniature wonderland. We're here taking a tour of their giant organ collection. So let's get into it. And here we have a Rogers 333 organ. Unfortunately, this one, we don't know if it works or not because it has a key for the power switch. And we do not have that key. Northlandz does not know where that key went. So this organ, we don't know if it works, and if it does, unfortunately, we can't play it, which is a shame. So pretty typical with many organs, you have your three manuals here, your accompaniment, your great, your solo. You have different sounds for those as well as effects. You have your tremolo and vibrato that you can put on for those. You also have your rhythms. So you have a few of those here, which is pretty neat. And then you have your preset buttons, your rhythms down there as well. And that's kind of it. On the bottom section, you have your crescendo, your solo, and your main expression pedals, as well as your preset bass pedals for down here. And over here you have a headphones output and a tape output, which is kind of neat to have those attached right there. Another thing that's interesting about this Rogers organ is that it came with a xylophone built into it. So basically, from what I understand anyhow, the xylophone is not your normal xylophone because it's actually built with its own recording system. So in here you have your coils and your pickups for each note on the xylophone, kind of like if you think of like a Fender Rhodes or something to that effect. So this thing is actually, via this cable, is built in to the Rogers organ. And what exactly this is for, what exactly it does and how it works, I'm not quite sure. If anyone knows how this is supposed to function or what its real purpose was, please let us know, because as of now, I'm kind of at a loss for how this thing was meant to be played with the organ. Powerade. Gatorade without the gators.
It's got power.
So next up we have the Hammond X66. Really cool vintage organ. Unfortunately, like many other organs here, it does not work, which is a shame, or we can't get any sound out of it, to be more specific. Because I can turn it on, you know, you can see there's lights on and everything with it, but unfortunately, it takes a certain Leslie speaker outlet plug and it's supposed to go to a specific speaker, and we don't have that here. So it's really a shame. It's just a really neat organ. You have all your accompaniment drawbars and pedals and things that go to it. And it's been sitting out here in the public right next to the kids' play area. So unfortunately, some of the drawbars and some of the switches here have been broken off, which is a shame. Pretty simple organ. You have your two manuals, you have your accompaniment, your mains, and you have just certain effects, vibrato, it shows on here. You have certain other sounds you can put on there as well. You have an arpeggiator, I believe, which is pretty neat, as well as your orchestral section, and you have your different drawbars for each, not only for each manual, but also for each section of instrument you want to choose from. Furthermore, you have controls for your pedals. You have your pedal volume here, and your controls for your manual, as well as your different sounds, glockenspiel and the like, and the volume for those effects. You have a microphone input, as well as options to put reverb on that. I'm wondering if this organ was manufactured for more of a concert setting, where you could have a microphone and your voice and the organ come out of the same speaker, kind of just an easy setup thing. Like many Hammonds, especially a lot of really good classic ones, you have different settings on these keys here that you can put for certain drawbars, and what settings, presets you have for those as well as you can just cancel it all and play what you like. But it's pretty neat that they include these on here like that. I haven't really seen this myself. And unfortunately, what's broken off here, it seems, you have your switches for your Leslie, so your different controls, your ensemble echo, your mains. You can switch it to reverb or your aux, I suppose, and then you have your tremolo, different controls for your Leslie. I'm not sure why this is dangling like that, so probably needs to be fixed or was taken off of something that was there originally. And that's the Hammond X66. Unfortunately, we can't get any sound out of it, but hopefully it'll go to a good home that they can get that going. And here we have the manual, the controller for the Wurlitzer pipe organ that you can argue Northlandz is built around. Unfortunately, it does not work. It's a shame, but it's really cool to be able to look at something like this and to just marvel at what is going on here, because there is just so much and stuff that probably I still don't understand after looking at this thing. So you have 5 manuals here, corresponding to different sections here, your accompaniments, you have your orchestral, your solos, all these different levels here and different controls for that. You have your pedal controls on this side here, as well as up here for your different footings. Then you have your accompaniments here, as well as I believe up here, some of these I think are missing their titles to it. But you have your controls there for that as well. Going up, you have your solos, different footings, different controls. Also, I think this is just, yeah, these are just the footings you have for that. Even going up to your 4-foot here. Across here, you have your grates, you know, your main sounds here, and there are quite a few. And then you go into your orchestral and your bombarde, which I guess is the 5th manual that I did not mention prior. You have just so many different sounds here corresponding to the actual pipes and flutes that are here, as well as your xylophone, which is another totally different built-in thing that this organ has. Marimbas, glockenspiel, it's just crazy that this actually programs a real instrument when you just flip a switch. Yes, and you have your just different sections here, as well as underneath each key, you have your presets. Yeah, you have all your different presets here. You have your sounds on either ends. Down here, you have your bass pedals, your typical, you have your crescendo, your general, your solo, and your main, as well as a ton of different presets. So when you push these, obviously it'll change the presets for the pedal sounds that you can set. Bird. I wonder why it says bird. Train, fire gong. I'm wondering if some of these were the sounds that the owner, Bruce, installed for this specific organ because he was doing trains, which would be really neat to see just how he put all this together and what he was playing and what he would use this stuff for. Again, it's just a real marvel that this thing altogether controls this whole half of the building. Wow, they have the Roland JV1010 and the Yamaha Rev 7 and a Roland PK5. Unfortunately, this organ has been unoperational for quite a while, as is kind of evident by the rat's nest of wiring here. A lot of things have fallen out of place and have gotten into quite disarray, which is very unfortunate. This seems to be the main brain of the organ. You have this giant chamber here where it just blows the air into everything else, all the pipes, the bellows here on either end, and they continue into other rooms as well. This is just a portion of it, of all the air that is then blown up onto the pipes. Basically, this is a giant lung, if you want to call it that. Wow. And these low ones have bends in them that are so low that they just have to bend the pipes around in order to reach the appropriate notes. Time to sound the alarm. Oh, this is too good. It's almost like a synth or whatever. Do some crazy things with that. It's pretty neat. Yeah, up here they have xylophones, and you can just see the pipes for the lowest notes, just for it carries for the sound. And I think these are mallets. I think this was all programmed so that they would self-play these xylophones here with the mallets, which is just really cool. I wonder how that was like when it was all put together. It's pretty awesome. All right, last and not least, we have the Allen GW4 organ. It's a 4-manual organ, tons of bells and whistles, a lot going on here that I don't fully know myself, but we're gonna kind of go through this together. So unfortunately, the way this is built, the pedals extended far beyond the stand that it was built on, and so I could not sit and play this comfortably as my legs were like this. So we had to remove that, and that is no longer here. That being said, we're gonna demo some of the things here. I'm not an organ player. I don't really know how to play an organ with everything on it, all the features, but I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, we have a lot going on here. We have an accompaniment level here. We have your mains, your orchestra, and your solo manual. So all these different labels here correspond to those different parts and the feet of those different parts. So for your accompaniment, you have your 8-foot, you have your 4-foot, you have different footings for each section on each manual. So there's a bunch of different things you can do, so much you can customize on top of that. Like your tremolos you can put on for each sound. So if you wanted to put that on, you can. So you have that accompaniment you can do second touch on your grates. Another thing that I really find interesting about this organ, I think it was manufactured in 2002, is that it comes with these built-in panels and has a bunch of MIDI controls with it. So if I wanted to play something, you can transpose it, and there's so much more built into this and things you can do. You can record your own sounds, and it transposes every single manual. With each section, you can couple it to a MIDI sound. Say if I have the orchestra section, I turned everything off, there's no sounds on it. I can change the sound on here. So if I want to change it to a piano, change it to piano, or I can change it to string bass, electric piano, all different types of sounds solely via MIDI. And then you could of course bring back your other sounds as well. Which just to me is mind-blowing, as this is just such cool technology, and it just tucks right away and you would never know. Another thing that's very common with a lot of these organs is that you have your preset buttons here. Tons and tons of presets that you can push. So let's say I have this sound here. It's so cool just watching all this do itself, work its own magic. All right, so we put the bass pedals back to describe what we have down here. So yeah, you have, of course, your full bass pedals section here. You have your presets for your bass. So all these are the presets for up here, but these are the presets for your bass section. And your different sections there. And then you have your swell pedals, all of which are pulled all the way up because it gets really loud in here, but you have your crescendo. Which makes things sound very loud. You have your solo pedal. And then you have your solo, main, and percussion pedals.
Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'd like to say a special thank you to Northlandz for allowing us to come and check out their amazing collection here. If you'd like to see a special interview I've had with a few of the people that work here, you can check out this video right here. I'll see you all in the future, and I hope you all stay awesome.
Huh?